Our honey is probably the purest honey they've tested coming out of North America. Got it? Keep going, keep going. Now, let's look.
Truly never had fresher tasting honey. This is Sean and Denise, two individuals full of experience who found a passion in beekeeping and decided to use their gifts to share with us some of the best honey in the world.
Straight out of the hive.
That was really good. They were full of valuable information about how essential bees are to our environment and how essential bee products are to our health. So together we are going to learn just a little bit more about that.
Oh, those little bad girls.
How high are they?
Really high. I can't believe it.
I can.
So we're with Denise and Sean with Killer Bees Honey. First off, this property is absolutely stunning. How did y'all even get started in this?
We have 75 acres up here that is fingered into the Pisgah National Forest. The nearest farm is around 12 to 14 miles away, and that goes directly to the purity of our brand and our honey and how we take care of the hive girls, the bees. Denise was a very high-powered financial executive outside of New York City. Both of us went to college out on the West Coast. She has advanced degrees in urban planning. I went to Occidental College and put that education to good work by joining the LA County Sheriff's Department.
So philosophy degree really came.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So I joined the Sheriff's Department. I spent over 25 years there. I was medically retired. I worked South Central Los Angeles, West Hollywood, did some other things with other government agencies, and as I said, retired, moved back to Chicago to help a college friend with a business startup. I was living underneath an overpass with and Denise drove by. We spent 2 years there in Chicago together. On my father's side, he's from the South. He grew up in East Tennessee during the Depression. Okay. He actually graduated UT in chemical engineering and then went to Harvard B. Worked on some classified projects, the Manhattan Project, and then became a titan of industry after the World War II. We, getting a bit ahead of ourselves here, so we wanted to come up or come down from the Chicago area because on my father's side, originally from the South, and I love the South, I love the people, I love the morals, the values, the mores of the people. I hunt, I shoot quite a bit. I used to compete in combat shooting. In fact, all the meat that we eat in the house is the meat that I hunt off the property.
He cooks too.
So after I left the department, I was medically retired, so the county put me through culinary school. I love to cook. She loves to eat food that I hunt and kill.
We're foodies. We're big foodies.
Total foodies.
And what can you love more than that?
Yeah. And that's what also got us very interested with the bees. Now, I've been keeping bees since I was 12 years old.
I was going to say, business and the property was all serendipitous, organic, as they like to say. Sean was a beekeeper, so he knew a lot about bees. We were living in Charlotte. He started to have beehives again. He had already retired. That was fun.
She was still working. She was flying back and forth
to New York
City.
We always came up here. We'd do a lot of bike riding, hiking. So we'd always come up here, and then we finally decided, we need to just move up there. So when I was getting closer to retirement, and Sean said, let's move up there. And you know what? I'm going to have 10 hives.
Because why not?
Because why not? And I said, honey, that's so great.
You're patronizing.
I'm like, I'm working my ass
so
off.
friggin'
You need to do something to keep you busy. 10 hives. Fabulous. It really has become a passion project. And when we moved up here, we found this piece of property. We were not looking for 75 acres to put a bunch of beehives. But when we moved up here, we realized a couple things. Number one, we're in the middle of the Pisgah Forest.
Truly.
And we'll get into that in a little bit. Like I said before, the land is so important. Where we start is so important. The oldest mountain range in the United States. So critical. We'll talk about that when we talk about the honey. That was number one. We didn't really realize that we were in the middle of nowhere. Number two, We also didn't realize that we were surrounded by sourwood trees. Yeah. Well, so you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sourwood honey is so good.
Well, you're going to taste some today. It is, the champagne of honeys.
Truly.
Won all sorts of international contests. Our sourwood actually has won a contest, a big artisanal national contest.
That's amazing.
We're in Sourwood Central, so that also sort of happened. We were not thinking, oh, we're getting to be 60, soon to be 70. Let's start a new business. We didn't think that either. But
We've always been, both of us have been entrepreneurial.
and
I've
you-
had businesses even when I was in law.
So you never really stop.
And when you
in some
love
way.
what you're doing,
Yeah.
it feels a little less like
Yeah.
work, even
Yeah.
though it's still hard work.
Yeah.
And these are all captured swarms that we have housed up here. These came from 2 other different counties. What bees will do is, being very clean insects, and because they're in constant contact with each other, they know if they excrete in the hive, that will promote dysentery and disease and sickness.
Interesting.
So what they do is the house bees will fly out and immediately excrete and come back in. We do not fertilize our garden. We let the bees
No
fertilize our
way.
vegetable garden.
So it's just like crazy because in general, bees are so vital to any gardener, any farmer.
That's right.
They pollinate a third of our food.
Yep. Yeah, but they're actually fertilizing because they will not excrete in the hive because they know that will promote sickness.
So then they do it in the garden
do it
and
in
it
the garden.
fertilizes your garden.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to go get me a hive in my yard.
This room very quickly.
Coming?
And shipping area. So we package everything there. That's our good food award. That's Beekeeper Barbie. And then we put it in the back of the truck or the car, and we drive it to the post office or to the UPS.
How far is the post office?
This is 80 liters, and what I do is I put in drawn comb. So furniture, I'm supplying them a furnished home. So the scout bees come in, and they just go, whoa, and then they go tell their sisters, bring everyone over, and then they all, we found the perfect home, and they fly.
And they come.
I bait it, what's called Swarm Command for some beekeepers, probably in there now. And what it is, it's mostly lemongrass oil. What I do is I bait 2 of the frames with lemongrass oil. First.
All right.
Got this, thank you, dear. Hear that bee?
Yes, I do.
So they're smelling it.
They're smelling the lemongrass already.
Yep. Now what I'm going to do is attach this. Lauren, you're going to pull this up off at an angle, and I'm going to bring this part up through that joint.
Okay.
Or that bracket, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, face the entrance this way, and then I'm going to secure it with this yellow strap.
Oh.
You got to pull it up. Yeah, it's a little heavy.
Oh, I feel like my hands are slipping with the glove.
Yeah, sorry. You
No,
got
you're
it?
good. I think I got it.
Okay, stand by. Okay, rope.
Nice. This is a swarm box that will capture the hive that is trying to find a home.
That's right. So this is, and then what I do is pre-dawn, I seal it with mosquito netting, and then Denise or Madison or Amara come up later on in the morning. We drop it, we move it to the hive. Now we have to a different apiary.
Except the first thing that Sean said was, "Oh, let's start this business, killer bees." He had already had the name. He had already gotten it because he just thought it was cool.
So anyway, we went from 90 hives and tours 4 days a week.
Wow.
Our tours took off to a point where when we would open them up January 1st, they were filled within 3 weeks.
That's
of going into the
amazing.
summer. We were the #1 attraction.
TripAdvisor
attraction in the Southeast for several years. Then I got cancer and had to go through 3 years of treatments and operations. And I said, what are we doing? What's the point?
It was a lot of work.
We only give honey tastings now, and we're down to 50 hives in 3 apiaries. This is the home apiary where we have 30 hives. Then I have a little more than 30. Then I have 2 out yards that only have 9 hives each. But they're all located very deep in the Pisgah. All right, so
I can't turn my head.
bees collect 4 things in nature. They collect of course, nectar and pollen. Pollen is the gift that both the bees take, and also the nectar attracts the bees in. That's their reward for visiting that flower.
Whoa.
When a bee flies to, let's say, a dandelion, it won't then go to a blueberry bush. It'll go from dandelion to dandelion to dandelion to dandelion, or clover to clover, because they're hardwired to go from one species of plant to pollinate that plant as it visits. On the next trip, it may go to the blueberry. On the next trip, it may go to sourwood. And we're gonna
But
show
it
that to you.
continues to go to the same
Same one
species.
on each trip.
Do I look cool? I'm kind of double overalled right now too. Because I have my overalls on and then I had the full bodysuit.
Yeah, you're covered.
We're covered, we're good.
Yeah. Hop in, Lauren. Go into a new hive, relatively new queen. And she's not really producing well, so I have to figure out what's going on. It's a brand new queen. She was born this spring, and usually they're stronger by this time. And this is Denise is already here. So. Happy, and we're going to show that to you. All right. Take your glove off. A lot of people think that, oh, the bees think the hive is on fire, so they're going to go down and get some honey before they have to leave. And that's a legitimate reason. When I open up the hive, the bees, and go into it, an alarm pheromone goes out. And if I didn't smoke them, you'd smell it's like a banana peel. And that means everyone to arms, we're being attacked. What I'm doing is I'm masking that odor with smoke. Now, you don't want fire because you'll burn the bees.
Right.
They're covered in fur. They're covered in hair.
Like a caterpillar covered in the little fine hairs.
In fact, when they travel through the air, they're getting hit by air molecules, pollen, and dust, and they're picking up a positive charge. Plants are grounded. They have a negative charge. So the more nectar that's in the flower, the greater the negative charge. So the bee comes up and there's no negative charge. That flower is saying, no, one of your sisters was here. Go visit my neighbor.
Right.
Perfect.
All right. You are the professional.
So I'm listening to them, and they're pretty calm. Pretty calm. I'll tell you, I want you to hold this, Lauren.
Okay. So much power in my hand.
Now notice I'm now going very slow and being very methodical. Come on, get out of the way. You get hurt. What I do is I use this tool. Now, all this wax, this is, see this dark stuff? That's propolis. They've propylized.
What?
Yeah, they propylized. See all the glistening?
Get a load of that.
That's nectar that they're curing, and they're going to drop the moisture level down a very different way. You bake, right?
Yes.
You're a baker, okay. So you know the property of invertase in baking. So I've broken this open. Notice the bees immediately are trying to retrieve what's broken. So I'll put this over here. Now I think this is all filled with honey. We're going to get down the brood chamber so you can see baby bees and maybe the queen.
So honeybees, they don't really start producing the nectar and the honey until beginning of summer or
Spring.
spring. So they do have like a season in a way.
Oh yeah. This is filled with honey.
And how many bees do you think is in just this hive?
In this hive, there's probably around 50,000 bees. So that bee has pollen. She's come back, and the
because
pollen.
you can see the white.
Now, all this right here, these are all baby bees about to be born. Yes.
Is there one baby bee per honeycomb or like per circle?
Per cell.
Per cell.
And they're 2,500 on each side. Now,
wow.
See the white in there? See the white in those cells at the very edge?
Yes.
Okay, that's larva. Those bees are 4 to 5 days old. Okay, now hand me your hive tool.
All right.
Got it? Keep going, keep going. Now, let's look. I'm going to take this. See, look for the queen.
Come on.
Yeah.
So you're able to put this back in and it doesn't disturb their home?
Well, I've disturbed them for 24 hours because I'm disrupting their workflow. Okay, so pick this up. Hold this.
Okay.
Just take that, just like that.
Wow, that is heavy.
Okay, that's right. In her lifetime, one bee will produce 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey. You're holding 7 pounds of honey.
I don't know the exact number, but tens of thousands of bees had to go and work for
That's
this.
right, for this. And they
honey.
could put in upwards of 7 to 10 pounds of honey a day, a strong hive.
That's how they
Okay,
work together
That's how
as
they
one.
work together. Now, this is straight out of the hive, right?
Right.
And we're going to show you up in there, but this is not fully capped because they haven't cured it, and they know when it's cured. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take
They cure it for us.
They cure it for us. But so I'm going to do straight out of the hive. Okay, now unzip the very bottom of your veil. They're not going to come in.
That's really good. That's insanely good.
Straight out of the hives. Doesn't get any
Never
better.
had that before. That was awesome.
Zach, you want to try it?
I would love to try it.
Isn't it good?
That's really good. Can I get seconds?
No, you'll get some more up there. I know. But you know what? That's what the bees do for us.
Truly never had fresher tasting honey. Oh, so the bees, when it rains.
Like I said, I went to culinary school. Well, we travel all over the world. We went to Bologna, Italy, and I went to the CNR Research Institute, which is a STEM university. I took honey sensory classes up to, I'm a level 1 honey sensory
One of the few
expert.
in the United States.
And then I also went to UC Davis at the Mondavi Institute, and I took classes there. You know, you look at a red wine, and it has around 600 volatile organic compounds, VOCs.
Right.
Wildflower honey has almost the exact same amount of VOCs because it's floral. Think
So
about
all
it.
the antioxidants carry
That's
through
right.
to the honey.
Same thing with chocolate. Very
Look
high,
at
dark
dark
chocolates
chocolate.
have very high VOCs in it. So you're picking up, you know, when you see all those different chocolates, and not the ones that have been infused or the honeys that have been infused. And Denise will talk about that because we don't flavor our honey.
Right.
We refuse to.
Which is a huge issue with commercial honey.
Well, we consumed last year 688 or 638 million pounds of honey. We only produce 116 million pounds of honey.
In the U.S.
80% of the honey is imported. It's not honey.
I see what you're saying, like half.
What is it?
comes
Yeah,
from,
where's it coming from?
It's coming
Is
from
it mixed?
China, India, Vietnam. It's transshipped illegally through South America, Argentina, Ecuador, and it's not honey.
And then it's no longer beneficial for you.
No,
No, it's just
well,
corn
we're going to
syrup
talk
or
about
crap.
that also regarding how honey is processed here in the United States, the world's largest. There you go.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's heavy.
Into this uncapping machine, and it uncaps 4 to 5 frames a minute. Now, mind you, it's usually just the two of us doing this. Madison helped us greatly yesterday.
Watery.
That is beautiful.
What bees have learned to do is, as a baker, you know, water, sugar, yeast, outgasses methane, right? Bees don't want methane gas in their hive. They can't control the yeast, right? They can't. It's nature. Yeast and bacteria is on everything in nature. And they want the carbohydrate. They want the sugar. So what they do is that they get rid of the moisture. When the honey drops below 17.8%, they seal it because you've stopped the fermentation
And that's
process.
why it's sealed.
That's
And
why
now we
it's
have to
sealed.
take the
So they're
seal off.
protecting it,
That's
so it's
right.
like
And
it's kind of like
they've
canning, I
That's
guess,
That's
like
right.
canning
Taking all
food.
That's right.
True.
But if you flip this jar over, and if the bubble, and it's warm in here, so it'll rise faster, but if the bubble rises to the surface faster than 2 seconds, probably diluted with sugar water. Or they pulled it out too quickly. So let's count. 1001, 1002. Again, it's warm, but it's still around 2 seconds. When we go inside, it'll be a lot slower.
So if
because
it-
this is warm.
If it's fast,
That means there's so much
Yeah.
water.
If you
There's a
flip,
lot of sugar water.
and we'll show you some store-bought honey that just rockets to the top.
So now you turn on the motor.
and so now it drips.
So that's
now-
okay. There's a tank underneath. And then we take this, put it in the centrifuge. It'll be
That's
filled.
filled, and it spins, and it
And then the honey.
And then the honey drips
hits,
from there.
and then you open up that honey gate, and it goes to the honey, and
That, I
then
bet that's like liquid gold.
It is like
seeing
liquid
it.
gold.
right
There
there.
you go.
What?
All these buckets.
That
go
is
in. So then we give this back
to the
bees.
honey.
Filter the honey just through the gravity of
For all
this
any of the honeycomb
screen.
left on it.
The combs,
Wings.
beeswax,
Whoa.
dirt,
You
whatever.
know,
So
occasionally
it's
there's some
just
casualties in the
Okay.
process.
really, really thick. And then there's wax all in here and it's dripping very, very slowly. So that takes forever.
So what we do is that we fill this tank with honey, around 2/3 full. We heat the tank to around 88 to 92 degrees. What most packers will do is they flash heat the honey up to 175 degrees for 15 minutes. You've just killed it, kill the yeast. Because they want shelf life. They don't want it to ferment because they yanked the honey out before the bees have fully cured it. It's not cured. The bees haven't had time because the beekeepers are constantly moving their hives. So we gravity feed through these stainless steel meshes or cheesecloth. We put it in here. Our honey is so thick that we have to heat this up to the temperature of the hive. This is a German bottling machine, and it bottles. We take the bottles, we put them up here, and then we put them in the back of the UTV, and Amara or we will start labeling them. We do everything here on site. Our honey isn't shipped anywhere.
You're not processing it anywhere.
Right here, those hives right here, 50 feet away, we'll take those super soft, we process it here, we bottle it here, we label it in the kitchen.
You're completely hands-on.
And that, yes, and then we ship out of that steel building where we got the swarm box.
Okay, so we've learned that you guys are one of only beekeepers in North America that has sent your honey off to labs all over the world for the purity of it, to test the purity of it. Why is that so important to you? And why should that be so important to us?
Well, we want to establish the transparency and the value of our honey and the importance of the honeybee in agriculture and the natural products that it produces. Unfortunately, here in the United States, because of agribusiness, everything's keyed in on efficiency. And when you have GMO crops that are glyphosate resistant, glyphosate does have an effect on your gut biome. It has an effect, they're showing effects on reproductive health.
Yeah.
What we're seeing now with the importance and discovery and research on microplastics, on agrochemicals, we wanted to demonstrate to our customers that our honey is the purest honey coming out of North America. And we've clearly demonstrated that by sending our honeys to Intertech in Germany, AQL Labs out of California, ALS Labs in New Zealand. The benefits of raw honey, real honey, coming from our hives, or your local beekeeper. Get to know your local beekeeper at the farmer's market. Ask him where he keeps his bees, how he treats his bees, using chemicals or natural organic compounds that will kill the mites or other diseases in the hive. But if you're using fungicides or pesticides, now
that's in your honey.
That's in your honey.
And then that goes into your body.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we only have 50 hives, and we ship
and
our honey.
it's hard to find the footprint. You know, this footprint where there are no pesticides doesn't exist everywhere.
No, it doesn't.
Being up high in the mountains, high-ish, up in the mountains creates an incredible flavor profile. And I said, you know, it's always a little bit of a surprise for us to see what honey comes back, right? Every year, it's always a little different.
Make sure you check them out. They're Killer Bees Honey, and I fear that now Zach and I are gonna go start our own beehive. Okay. So thank you for that inspiration. We're gonna start small.
Yeah.
We won't get this big, but who knows? Maybe we'll see you again.
Pleasure.
You guys are amazing.
So much.
Thank you so much. Yes. I really am just so appreciative for the time that Sean and Denise gave my brother and I to explore their beautiful property, to learn so much about how beneficial bees are just holistically, and also they're just such incredible human beings. If you have the honor of ever meeting them, truly it is a gift. Now I think it's time to make a little breakfast. My current rotation is buckwheat, which is a highly nutritious seed that is full of benefits for your digestive health, copper, magnesium for bone strength and metabolism, which is a great complement to Killer Bees honey, which stays clean because their hives live in a remote forest area. So they avoid all chemicals and antibiotics. They test their honey regularly to make sure it is toxin free because their goal is to be completely toxin free of any chemicals such as glyphosate. That is incredible. I feel like in order to truly taste the flavor difference, you need to try it for yourself. But if you do want some killer bees honey, you better get on it fast because they sell out super fast. And yet again, this was just such a super insightful and educational experience that I'm so thankful to be able to share with you guys. And I'll see you in the next episode for some dairy, which I think is gonna be so fun.